Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I have an exciting video for you today, and we are going to go through the different stitches and techniques to knit this Shimo cardigan by We Are Knitters. So a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a bit longer, last month, I decided to get a kit from We Are Knitters, and this is my first kit. Previously I bought some wool to knit my Garter Stitch throw, but I didn't get a kit, so this time I just decided to go and get a kit. And they have loads and loads of cardigans on their website. The website is weareknitters.co.uk. They have loads of different beautiful cardigans that you can get, and look, until February the 12th you can get 25% wide side wide 25% off side wide. So this is amazing. I think when I bought my kit I had a discount. They had a discount, I think maybe 40%, because they reached 400,000 subscribers or followers on Instagram or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but I mean, I have to say the kits are quite expensive. Some of them, you pay 105 for a cardigan like that, which if you pay 105 for just the stuff that you need, then you have to put in like a couple of days work. Then the cardigan is going to end up an expensive cardigan. But when they have offers, it's good. I like it. So I looked through all of them. I asked a few people on Instagram what they've got, and I decided to go for the Shimo cardigan, and this is the one. And I went for size small because I'm 5'3", so I'm quite small. And I have to say, I like it. But what I find with the instructions are a bit hard. So I've been knitting for years. I know how to follow charts. I know how to follow instructions. I can figure it out very, very easy. But this is supposed to be for, this says intermediate level, but it's supposed to give you instructions. So if you know how to knit and purl, that would be a beginner. Obviously here it's got some decreases and increases, which makes it intermediate. I don't know, but I have to say their chart was a nightmare. I started the back of this cardigan at least 5 times, and I even screamed the 5th time. I had to think back and start over because I was so mad. Maybe it was my fault, I don't know. But I found a way to take it step by step and not miss where I was in the pattern, in the chart. And then once you get through that section, then you're fine. And it's just knits and purls. Now I do hope it's gonna fit, because it looks quite small, the small size that I have. The size is small medium or large XL, so I got the small medium, which looks, it's supposed to be a loose fitted, I don't know, it will probably fit. But let me show you what you get in the kit, because that's why you came to watch this video. So in one of these ginormous bags, with you get the picture of what you have inside, and whether you choose to get it with needles, you get needles. If you choose to get it without needles, then you don't get needles. And I have plenty of needles. I didn't pay £10 for needles, but this is what you get inside. The instructions, and I do wish this little booklet would have the pictures, or at least some of the pictures of the cardigan, because so many times I found myself having to go on their website to look, I wonder if I'm doing this right. Is it this many diamonds going up this side or not? So I wish they would have pictures on here, but they don't. So anyway, and then you get a gauge, you get a chart, you get a gauge, you get the pattern in English, French, Danish, and Spanish. And you also get a size guide, schematics, and then all the different languages that the pattern comes in. So you get the instructions. Then you get this little pouch, and in the pouch you get, let me show you, some stickers. And I like some of them, but obviously I don't like that one. They're cute. I think they're fun. And also you get a tag. So I will sew this on my sweater when I finish it. I think that's cool. And you get some tapestry needles, which are very helpful because who has this kind of big, oh, what did I do there? Who has this kind of big needles with big loops to put this giant chunky yarn through? So it's very helpful. The other thing for this particular cardigan, the other thing that I think they should have put in is a row counter, but because a row counter is like a must for this, but they didn't. So for a size small, I got 5 skeins. Let's see. You get 5 skeins of the petite wool, and this wool is I think it's 100% Peruvian. Where does it say? Yeah, 100% Peruvian Highland wool. It's soft. It's quite soft. I think I could just wear it with a t-shirt underneath and it wouldn't be scratchy. They say you should knit it with 8mm needles, and that's what I have. I didn't order the wooden needles because I can't knit with straight needles. That for me is just a no-no. My elbows and my arms would just hurt too much. So I have my trusty Knit Pro circulars to work with. But yeah, 5 of these make a small medium Shimo cardigan. I think that's how you say it. Shimo? I don't know. And let me show you what I've done so far. I've knitted the back. Okay, where is it? Maybe I should show you my needles first. So these are my needles. Knit Pro 8mm pointy, just a short cable because you don't need it flapping around. And I have finished the back. Here it is. Now I wanted to show you how to knit this cardigan, obviously not with the stitch count or anything. I'm just going to show you how to do the knit together, yarn overs and all that, because it's their pattern, and you know I can't share the pattern with you. I'll just share with you the technique. If I would do this my way, I would put a garter stitch here instead because it's curling, as you can see. And I know it's not my knitting, it's just starting something with stockinette. It will always curl. So I would put a garter stitch here. Obviously I wanted to follow the instructions row by row for you to understand the pattern if you get this kit. And I've done a cast on, a long tail cast on, and then I went straight into the chart, finished the chart, which I can call it the nightmare chart, but I finished it and I made it. And then you continue knitting stockinette until you get to the top where you do a garter stitch for the neck. And then as you can see, there are no decreases, there's no shaping around the neck. This is just a plain simple cardigan. There's no shaping around the arms where you're going to attach the arms, so it's quite boxy. But as I said, you know, I wanted to follow the instructions row by row and explain to you the technique of knitting this cardigan if you end up in a puzzle like I was when I started it, because it's so hard to follow instructions on charts. I don't like charts, and this chart is very, very complicated, especially because of all the knit together SSKs, you know, slip 2, knit 1, pass the slip stitch over, and so on. So I've done the back. I've also done the right front, and I have to say, because I think I don't know, it's just this does not look like a front of the cardigan. It just looks too small. But obviously we're going to add the border here, so you can make the border wider if you have more wool, because that's the last thing that we're going to do. And the same, you just follow the chart to knit the diamonds, go up to the top, and then we have here a garter stitch on the front, and this is going to be sewn to the back as your shoulder. Okay, so that's one side, and I believe that's the right side. And then you have the sleeve. I was going to say you have the arm, but it covers the arm, but this is the sleeve. You have the sleeve, and the sleeve you started with a ribbing and then just plain stockinette with increases every so row. It's all explained in the pattern. I'll just start you and show you how I did my increases, and then you continue for as many rows as the pattern tells you, and you do the cast off. And when you finished with all your pieces, the pattern tells you to sew them together, and I will show you how I do that on mine, and then knit the border on the right and left fronts, and then that's it. This doesn't have any buttons, so it's an open cardigan. Obviously, if you want buttons, you will have to put buttonholes on your border when you knit the border on the side of the cardigan. All right, so now we're going to learn how to do the stitches that we need for the cardigan. So the bottom of the cardigan has the decorative diamonds, and in order to create those diamonds, you need to use increases, decreases, simple decrease and double decreases. And also for the sleeves, we're going to learn how to make one increase other than the yarn over. So I want to quickly show you how to do those. Okay, so I'm just going to do a slip knot and cast on a few stitches. And if you're interested in like a slower demonstration of the way I knit and the cast on that I usually do and the way I do my pearls, then let me know, and I will be glad to film something for you, so you understand why sometimes I knit through the back loop or I purl differently and so on and so forth. So let me know in the comments down below, and now I can film that for you. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so let's go ahead and work a first row. I'm just going to quickly purl this row so we can get on the right side, and I'll show you how to do increases and decreases on the right side. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do, the first thing that you will have to knit in your work will be a yarn over. So I'm just going to knit a couple of stitches here, and now I'm going to do a yarn over. So how you do the yarn over is wrap the yarn around your needle, keep it at the back, and then continue working what you're supposed to work. So I'm just going to knit one here, and that yarn over will create like a hole, which is quite decorative, and it's on the side of your diamond going up and going in. Then the other thing, you would have to do a left leaning increase, so left leaning decrease, so our stitches will have to go that way. And obviously if you're an English knitter, your stitches will look like this. So in order to do a left leaning increase, you would have to slip one, slip another one, put those stitches back on the left needle and knit them through the back loop. Oop, both of them through the back loop. So that will make your decreases going left. And I'm going to show you how I do it, because I knit continental and I purl Eastern European style. So my stitches are already untwisted. So when I do an SSK or a left leaning increase, I don't need to slip them to untwist them because they're already untwisted. So all I do is knit two of them through the back loop, like so. So as you can see, they both go that way. Can you see? They both look the same. All right, then I'm gonna knit one stitch, and the other one that we learn how to knit is a right leaning decrease. And in order to do that, you just go to the second stitch, put your needle through both stitches and knit them like that. So that is a right leaning increase. Let's do it again. So go to the second stitch, put your needle through both of them, grab the yarn and pull through. So we did a right leaning decrease. Knit the last stitch. Okay, so we've learned how to do yarn overs on the right side, left leaning decrease, right leaning decrease on the right side. Okay, now we're gonna learn how to do them on the purl side. So I'm gonna purl one stitch, and now let's do a yarn over. So all you need to do is wrap the yarn around and then bring it to the front, because we need to continue purling. So that will give you a decorative hole as an increase. Now to do a decrease, we're going to purl two together. So just go through both stitches like this and purl both of them together. Okay, can you see? That's a right leaning decrease on the wrong side. Let's purl another one and do a left leaning decrease on the wrong side, which is slip one, slip another one, put your needle through the back and purl both of them together. There we go. Then when you end up with at the yarn overs, you just purl them normally. That's all you do. That's all you do. Purl them normally. Let's do another increase. So wrap the yarn around, wrap the yarn around your needle, bring the yarn forward and purl. All right. Now our work is looking quite funny, I have to say, because we've done a lot of increases and decreases and they're all over the place. But if you follow the chart on your instructions, you will make diamonds. You won't make this nonsense sample that I have here. You will end up with diamonds, and I'll show you mine on my cardigan. The other thing that I want to show you is how to do a double decrease on the right side and how to do a double decrease on the wrong side. So on the right side, we need to knit 3 together. So I'm gonna just knit a few stitches, including the yarn over. Let's do another yarn over here and then knit 3 together. So I'm going to go to my third stitch, put the needle through all 3 of them, wrap the yarn around, and pull it through. And it's quite tight, I have to say, but you've just made 1 stitch from 3 stitches, which is a double decrease on the right side. Then we're going to do a yarn over and continue knitting to the end. Okay. It doesn't look like anything, does it? All right. Then on the back of the work, or the wrong side of the work, we're just going to start with a purl stitch, and then let's say we need to purl 3 together. So I'm just going to bring the yarn forward and go through my right needle through all three of them, and purl all 3 stitches, and that's a double decrease on the wrong side. Okay, I'm going to purl to the end of this row, because the next thing I want to show you is the make one for the sleeves. So when you get to the sleeve part, you will see that it will tell you to do your ribbing, and after your ribbing you will have to increase at the beginning and at the end of the right rows, but not every right row. Every, I don't know, 8 or 10 rows on the right side, you would have to do 2 increases, one at the beginning and one at the end. So this is what the sleeve would look like, right? So you have here the ribbing, and then in order for your sleeve to go outwards like this, here and here, here and here, here and here, on the right side you would have to increase. So this is how you're going to do those increases. You're going to knit 1, then you're going to go in between the stitches and pick up this bar and bring it from back to front on your left needle like this, and then you're going to knit it through the back loop. Okay, so you just made a new stitch. Then the pattern will tell you to knit until you have 1 stitch left, and I'm just going to knit until I have 1 stitch left. Here it is, and I'm going to go to that bar in between, bring it from back to front and knit it through the back loop. So that is the increase that you will have to do for the sleeves, and I think that covers all. Maybe I should show you how to bind off, since we're here. So I think you bind off on the right side, which means I have to just purl through these stitches to get to the right side. Okay, and now you're finished with your sleeve and you're ready to bind off. So this is how you would bind off. Knit the first stitch, knit the second stitch, and pass the first stitch over the second one. Then again, knit the next stitch, pass the stitch over, knit another stitch, pass the stitch over, knit another stitch, pass the stitch over. And as you can see, the work is binding off with a nice edge. Obviously this edge is going to be hidden when you stitch your cardigan together, so you won't be able to see it. But for my cardigan, I have to say, even though I'll show you how to stitch the cardigan together the way they suggested, I ended up stitching it together with decorative edging, and I think I think it looks nicer. But yeah, let's go on with knitting all the pieces, and we'll come back when we're ready to stitch them together. Once you have all your pieces, and I have here my back and this is my front, I'm going to show you how to sew the shoulder together, and also how to sew the arm on the body, and continue doing the rest of the stitching. But I want to show you how to put this sweater together. And I have to say, I hate doing seams, but you kind of have to do it. So all right, so when I did my bind off for my front, I left a long tail. If you don't have a long tail, then just thread your needle with the same yarn that you use, and then just secure it on this side. But I do advise you to leave a tail in order to be able to stitch with it. And then you align your back. This is the back, and as you can see, here is the garter stitch, and then this is the front with the garter stitch here. So we're just going to seam from this side to here, and then this is going to be the neck left open like that. And what you want to do is you want to go under your bind off and put your needle through the first V that you can see. So let's find the first stitch. Okay, this is my first stitch. It's a V. I'm going to put my yarn through that first V and bring it all the way. Then I'm going to go to the other piece and put my needle through the first V, and it's a bit loose here, and put my needle through, bring it up, and tie it in. Then you want to come back and go through the second V and pull the yarn through, go to the top, pull the yarn through the second, and we keep going like this. This is where my yarn came from. Then I'm going to go to the next V, up here to the next V, down to the next V, up to the next, and we keep doing that. And obviously you would have to tie it as you go. I just wanted to let it be a bit loose so you can see what I'm doing, but let's just tie it up and show you how it closes. So as you can see, it closes up nicely. And we continue doing that until we get to the garter stitch, because we don't want to do the garter stitch. See? It sews up quite nice. I'm not going to finish it with you because I want to move on to the sleeve, but that's what it looks like. And then on the back you will just have this edge, which it leaves a ridge. It's not ideal, but it's, you know, it's okay. You could if you want, sew with leaving this edge here. So you would go in through the V, through both V's, bring it through, go back again through this V and through that V, and that will give you a smooth stitching. But then you could see this on your shoulder. So if you want a seamless like this, or if you want a seam that, you know, whichever one you want. But this one doesn't leave a ridge, but it's not that strong. So that's how you do shoulder to shoulder. And then I want to show you how we're going to do the sleeve. This table is not big enough for this kind of work. But you want to align. So you want to do the shoulders first, then you want to align your sweater and grab your sleeve. And you want to find the middle. That's the middle of my sleeve. And I'm going to put the middle here. And it would be good to have a safety pin, then you can just pin it together to stay like that, or you can just hold it like I do and go to the side. Like this. So now I know that this is where I need to start to sew up my sleeve. Like this. Just, I want to hold it like that and grab some yarn to thread my needle, because I don't have any here from the bind off. Okay. And then again, I want to find the first stitch, so the first V. Here we have the first V, and I want to put my yarn through, and then I want to find on here, this is my first column of stitches. The V's are going up, well, going down, and then that's my first. Can you see? And I want to just find these bars here and put my needle through. Okay. Then I come back to the sleeve, go through the V's. I go back to the same set of the same column of stitches in between where my yarn came out of, and I go and grab that bar and stitch it. Then to the next V, I go to the same place, grab that bar and bring it through. V, through the V, up, grab that bar and bring it through. And as you can see, it's going to look nice because we always go in the same column of stitches, and then these stitches will look like they're gonna go underneath this column of V's, which will line up all the way to the top. And it's kind of like the mattress. It's a combination of the shoulder stitch with the mattress stitch. So that's how you continue. So you go down into the V's, and then you go up to that bar and continue doing that all the way to the end of your sleeve. And after that, we're going to do the mattress stitch, and I'm going to show you how to do the mattress stitch on this sleeve here. Unfortunately, I didn't leave very much yarn left, but we'll start with this. If you only have this much left, you need to thread new yarn in your needle. But just for demonstration, I'll just start with this one. Actually, I didn't show you something important for this video. Okay, let's add something to this length, because where is my wool? What have I done with my wool? Now here it is. So you only have a little bit of wool here, and you need to add some. So what you do, you grab the end like this and you split it in half like that. Then you grab the other end, and you kind of want to glue them together. So we have two ends, and we're just going to twist them together like that, just a little bit. You don't have to be neat about it. Do the same with the top one, just a bit of twisting like that, and then just a bit more twisting. And now make sure you have a lot of saliva in your mouth. You want to put this in your mouth, excuse me. And you have to do it with your mouth. You can't do it with water, it won't stick. And then you just rub. You just rub together, until your palms heat up. And the heat of your palms with the saliva, I'm sorry to say that, but you know, this is good stuff. You know, I know it's disgusting, but it's working, and it's doing a good thing. Yeah, then there you go. We just glue them together, and you can only do this with 100% wool, because wool is sticky and it sticks to itself. So then you just take as much yarn as you need, and because it's wool, I'm just gonna break it. You can cut it with the scissors, and let's start on the mattress stitch. So I'm going to thread my yarn, and this is what we're going to have. We're going to look at the edge stitches and the first column. This is the first column, can you see? And in between these V's we have these bars, and those are the bars that we're going to work with. We have bars there and we have bars here. Okay, so because our yarn is coming, because our yarn is coming from this side, we're going to go on the other side first. So we're going to go on the column of V's here, and we're going to go on that very first bar and grab and pull the yarn through. Okay, then we're going on the other. We're going to grab the first bar from in between and pull the yarn through. Oh, what did I do there? Pull the yarn through. Okay, then we go back in the next bar to grab the next bar, pull the yarn through, go here to the next bar. It's right, if you can't see, you just want to, you know, expand your V like that, and it will be right there, and you pull it through. And then you can just, as you can see here, I didn't pull it all the way, but you want to do it as you go, because this is kind of sticky yarn and it won't work like usual, like normal thread. Let's go from here, just to tie it up like that. Tie up. Why wouldn't it come? It's because the yarn is so sticky. There we go. Okay, let's do a bit more and then I show you what it looks like. So we grab the bar, pull it through, come to the next and pull it through. And because we go through the bars in between that knit stitch column, when we tie them together, they will have kind of like they will kind of like blend together. Let me show you what I mean. As you can see, when you pull on it, they will blend together and they will look like knit column, purl column, knit column, purl column, knit column. And you won't really see where you did the stitching. There you go. That is the mattress stitch, and that is the Shimo Cardigan by We Are Knitters. The other thing that I wanted to show you is how to pick up stitches to knit. Now let me just find my front. So the other one is how to pick up the stitches. Oh, sorry about the bounciness. In order to work your, it's not a bottom band, but it's the front band. Okay, let's grab some working yarn and my needles. And the pattern will tell you the pattern will tell you how many stitches you need to pick along the front. But this is what we're going to do. So as you can see here, we have V's again going that way. What you want to do is go through the first V and grab your working yarn and pull it through. Okay, then you want to go to the next, under the next V's like that, and pull it through. And sometimes you will see that you might need to skip one. So let's just do a third one here. And then you might have to skip one. So I'm going to skip this one and go to the next in order to spread them evenly, because the rows are longer than the width of the stitches. Or does that make sense? I don't know if it makes sense, but we would have maybe six rows but only 4 stitches, if you know what I mean. No, so the the stitches are wider than the length. The stitches are wider horizontally than than tall vertically. I don't know if it makes sense, but anyway. So that's why we have to skip one sometimes. So I went through that one, so I'm going to go through this one and pick another one. Go through this one, pick another one. So you could do knit through 3 of them, skip one, then go again, knit through 3, then I'm going to skip one. And I'll show you. You have to make sure that you stick to that column of V's, and you always want to put your needle through the first column instead of the second or the third, because you want the columns to align this way to the stitches that you pick up for the band. And then obviously the pattern will tell you to knit a garter stitch border of certain amount of rows. Now what I advise you to do, because I think this front is quite narrow and I quite like a cozy close cardigan, I'd say knit all your pieces, sew them up all together, finish your cardigan sewing it up, and then you're just left to do the bottom band. And what I advise you to do is split your yarn in half. So if you have, let's say, 50 grams of wool left, put it on your scales, split it in two balls, 25 each, and then work your bottom bands at the same time together from 2 balls. That way you get the same bottom bands but the width that you want, because you can just knit until you run out of wool and then you have wider bottom bands. Because from what I can see with this cardigan, I've stuck to all the measurements for size small to medium. I think I might have a lot of yarn, almost a whole ball of yarn left, which is not enough to do a whole project or something else with it, so might as well just put it in the cardigan. So yeah, bear in mind that you might not have my size. My arms might be shorter than yours, so you might want to add a couple of rows to the length of your sleeves, or yeah, but that's my advice. If you have leftover yarn and your sleeves are long enough, just do the bottom bands wider. And yeah, so I'm just going to continue finishing on my cardigan, and I will show you what it looks like when I finish it, and I'll probably do a thumbnail of me wearing it for this video. But thank you very much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. I hope it wasn't too long and too rambly, and it makes sense. And obviously, if you wanna buy this cardigan, I will put a link down below. This is not sponsored. I bought it with my own money. It's not an affiliate link. I'm just gonna put it down below, and I hope to upload it. I might not be able to upload it while the coupon code lasts, 25% off, but they always have coupons going on, like pretty much every other month they will have a discount for their kits. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.